So now you might be wondering, how actually can we display sensor data to the LCD? So if you still don't have any idea, so you can watch this video, because I will show you how to actually transfer the LCD the data from the sensors into the LCD. So if you want to know, please watch this video. So to do this, first let us edit the previous circuit, which we have this LCD with the I2C module connected to the SDA and SCL, or the analog output, analog input 4 and 5. Now we just add this circuit here, or this LM35. So as usual, I have already shown how to construct it in the hardware before for this LCD with I2C module, and also LM35 in the previous video. So therefore you can just take your time to construct it first in this video. And as usual, you can pause this video until you complete constructing the circuit. And if you have done, after you have done constructing your circuit, then you may click play again. So you may pause the video now. So in the previous video, I have shown how to do the scrolling LCD information, to scroll the information on the LCD, and also the blinking. So basically this is the coding from the previous video. And before this, I also have shown you how to connect the LM35 in the hardware, and that's why I did not show it again in this video. And also I also show this coding here in the analog chapter last time. So again, if you don't watch that video yet, if you have no idea on analog input, on how to read analog input, so you might lost, because I will not go everything from the beginning again in this video. I will just transfer this coding into the LCD coding. And that's why if you never know how to use analog input, how to convert the analog input, make sure you go back and watch the previous video on the analog input, which I have already also put it down below, the link to it down below, and also up there. If you want to go directly, you can directly go click and the link up top here or down below. But make sure you watch that first, so that you don't lose, or you don't confuse what I'm doing here, because I'm going to go everything fast here, because we already have covered these two parts here in the previous video. But now here I want to basically we want to display this temperature sensor value here into the LCD. So again, if you have hardware, so the LCD in your hardware, and also make sure you connect this LM35 to your hardware. So we want to read this temperature sensor and display it on this LCD here. So how to do this from these two coding? Basically, if we look at here, we have defined the potentiometer, or not potentiometer, is actually the analog input. So now we just copy and paste that, which is basically the temperature sensor, not the potentiometer, the temperature sensor. So as usual, either if you still have saved the previous coding, so you can do just like what I'm doing here, just open it and then just copy and paste into the LCD coding. But now it is not in the analog pin 5, because analog pin 5 we already used for the I2C informations there, which means now the LM35 is at A0. So A0, so therefore we change this here to 0, because this is temperature sensor on the analog pin 0. Okay, So there is one thing basically that we need to copy and paste, and then this I think I can just leave it as it is, because we want to initialize the LCD first until it is ready before we read the temperature value. But here maybe I will remove everything, not everything. Maybe I just left the LCD clear here, because I need to clear out the initial informations and then write the sensor value. So how to, from the sensor value, as usual we need to change the sensor value into the temperature. So meaning that we find where we have changed the value. So this is where we change the value, the sensor value, into the temperature in degrees Celsius, which means we can copy and paste it here. So we read the analog sensor, but now since I have already changed this into temp, so make sure you also change in according to what you define it here. So this is temp, which is read the temperature, and then change into millivolt, and and then change to temperature. So this is to change to the temperature in degrees Celsius. So now we can write into the LCD, which now instead of writing this, we write temperature for the first row, and then we go to the second row. So as usual, we go to the second row is LCD dot set cursor, which is second row. So it's up to you where you want to put it in second row, maybe the first column, so that it goes one column, so 1 1 maybe. Okay, and then what we want to display, so just the same thing, LCD print, but now we want to display the temperature in degree Celsius. And then since it is in degree Celsius, as usual we need to add so that people don't confuse, because temperature has so many units. There are Fahrenheit, there are Kelvin, so we don't want people to confuse. So we need to add, as we are engineers, we going to be engineers hopefully, so we need to make sure we add the units at the end, which is now it is in temperature sensor. So let's put the unit which is in Celsius, in Celsius, and then maybe we can wait for a while before it updates, so that it is not too fast. So just put the delay here for maybe 1 second. Okay, so I think that's it, maybe. Okay, I think that's it. So let's try as usual. If you have hardware, just directly click upload. If you use Proteus, you export the binary, compact binary, or copy and paste the hex file down here. Or if you have the Tinkercad, you might need to change the coding a little bit, because Tinkercad doesn't have LM35, it has TMP36, which have the different formula, and I have already showed that formula in the previous video. As usual, go and watch that video first, so that you know how I get that formula, how I get this formula. So there's no error. So let's try to run this code here with this. I just show this Proteus here. So let's upload the hex file into the Arduino. So now let's play it. and see what happens. So see it blinking 3 times, and then it show the temperature. So the value should be almost similar when I reduce it. So it should reduce to 19, since this part here is 19. When I increase it, so it should increase together with this value. So 49, so almost 49. So this is how you display data into the LCD. Basically not much different than before. Before this we display on the serial monitor, but we use in the serial monitor we use this serial.print, but now we use this LCD.print. So which means that as you can see, there is not much different than the previous video. I just add this formula only, and this is similar for any sensor that you have, any analog sensors that you have. So anything that related to your project, any sensors, the IR sensor, the O2 sensor, the air quality sensor, the what else, light sensor, and many more. So everything you need to convert into their respective units here, just like that, and then just directly display by using LCD print and set cursor if you need to set the location of where you want to print the information. And yeah, that's it. So how was it? Easy, isn't it? Not that difficult until now. As you can see, it's not that much in the Arduino, so I think all of you should be able to do it if you try to practice one by one in every chapter that I shown in this series here. Hopefully you learn something, you know how to apply this information in your project, especially in your invention. And yeah, I think I just stop here for this time around. The next video I will show something else which is related to this part here. Since we see here in this results here, usually temperature, it has a degree symbol, but since we don't have degree symbol in our keyboard, so we can't directly print degree symbol. So how to create or how to produce these symbols or any other symbols that we don't have in our keyboard onto the LCD display here. So this I will show you in the next video, so please stay tuned to that video. And as usual, any question, any comments, you can put comments down below, and if you want to ask me personally, please WhatsApp message me. I will try my best to help you. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and stay safe, stay curious, and stay joyful. I'm Ikhwan. May God bless you. Assalamualaikum.